Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're uncovering the mysteries behind 7 of the absolute most heavily guarded, completely sealed off locations on the entire planet. We're talking about places watched 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll look at the incredible lengths taken to keep the public out, and we're going to decode the secrets hidden across Fortress Earth. No visitors, no cameras, no answers. You see, these are spots where outsiders are strictly forbidden, and virtually nobody knows what actually lies inside. That's the baseline we're dealing with today. These 7 places aren't just well guarded, they're entirely sealed off from the rest of the world. When a place is locked down to this terrifying degree, you kind of have to ask yourself, what are they really protecting? Well, throughout this explainer, we're going to explore exactly that by looking at the specific motives behind these highly restricted zones, one by one. Section 1. Preserving Humanity and History. Let's kick things off way up in the freezing, unforgiving Arctic. Over 1 million. That massive number, it actually represents life itself. Buried deep inside the extreme Arctic permafrost, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault holds over 1 million crop seeds. And these aren't just from a few farms, we're talking seeds gathered from nearly every single country on Earth, all locked away together in the dark. It's a literal fortress, completely sealed shut and watched year-round. It was explicitly built to survive war, global disasters, or even the end of civilization as we know it. The wildest part is that it relies on the extreme, hostile Arctic environment as its primary shield. So it's a vault guarded just as much by impenetrable ice as it is by steel. Moving from preserving the future to protecting the past, our next location is deeply historic. 85. That's the exact number of kilometers of shelving. Just try to imagine that staggering distance for a second, all locked away in a heavily reinforced bunker deep beneath the streets of Rome. Those 85 kilometers make up the Vatican Apostolic Archives. They hold over a millennium, 1,200 years to be exact, of sealed papal records. It's an absolutely mind-blowing amount of human history and institutional memory. Yet, the vast majority of it has never been seen by the public and remains completely off-limits to us. Section 2. Sacred Grounds and Total Isolation. Here, the whole motive for secrecy really shifts from preserving physical objects to intense modern protection. Take the Kaaba, Islam's holiest site. To protect it, they use a massive surveillance net of 15,000 cameras. But it doesn't stop there. They also deploy drone surveillance and highly advanced artificial intelligence that tracks every single movement in those massive crowds. Now, an exclusion zone is a boundary guarding ground that specific outsiders, or sometimes anyone at all, are absolutely forbidden to enter. This high-tech security apparatus creates a strict exclusion zone, a heavily monitored boundary enforcing absolute religious sanctity, where non-Muslims are expressly forbidden to enter. But in stark contrast to all that AI-driven surveillance, consider a totally different kind of boundary. 5. That is the 5 nautical mile exclusion zone enforced by the Indian Navy around North Sentinel Island. It's a perimeter maintained entirely by naval patrols out on the open water. This 5-mile zone guarantees total uncompromised separation for an isolated tribe living on the island. They've actively chosen complete separation from the outside world. And, that choice is fiercely protected. Anyone who ignores the boundary and tries to set foot on North Sentinel Island takes a terrible risk. Trespassers can easily lose their lives. Section 3. Cold War Military Fortresses. We are stepping into the world of massive, state-sanctioned fortresses born out of military paranoia. The intent here is vastly different. While the Seed Vault peacefully prepares for the eventual collapse of society, the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, well, it was built with a much more violent, instantaneous threat in mind, surviving a direct nuclear strike. To survive that kind of blast, this NORAD bunker was constructed beneath 2,000 feet of solid granite in the Colorado Rockies. It's literally a marvel of military engineering. And from this deep subterranean fortress, its watch over North American skies hasn't stopped for a single second since the height of the Cold War. Similarly, way across the globe, we have Mezhgorye. This is an entirely closed Russian town that exists for one single reason: to guard the entrance to Mount Yamantau. It's a massive underground complex that Moscow has never fully explained. Outsiders aren't just politely discouraged from visiting, they are completely barred from entry. There's no getting in. Section 4. The ultimate black site. We now arrive at perhaps the most notorious restricted zone on the planet, Area 51. The perimeter security for this Air Force base out in the Nevada desert is incredibly intimidating. It's fortified with hidden sensors, watched by armed patrols, heavily enforces an unwarned no-fly zone, and yeah, trespassers can legally be met with deadly force. And yet, despite this overwhelming, intense security and decades of existence, its true purpose has still never been fully revealed to the public. The secrecy is so incredibly tight that even glancing too long at the base from a nearby, perfectly legal public road is known to draw the immediate, intimidating attention of unmarked security vehicles. Section 5. The true purpose of secrecy. So, what's the big connection here? What ties together a freezing seed vault, an isolated island, and highly classified military bunkers? Ultimately, whether it's the Vatican hiding historical records, Area 51 shielding classified research, or Mezhgorye concealing an entire hollowed-out mountain, they're all basically designed to project total control. They are ultimate monuments to humanity's instinct to enforce boundaries, protect absolute power, and guard its deepest secrets. Some of these places have stood guarded for decades, locking their dark files away from the world. Now you know a little bit more about why. So I'll leave you with this one final, undeniable thought to consider about the secrets hidden across Fortress Earth. The next time you hear about a restricted zone, what are they really protecting?